Hello everyone, my name's Log, and this is going to be my FICSMAS Factory tour for you all. That's the factory I built previously, but I thought this year I'd do something a little special. Something a little bigger. Let's head over and see what it's like. As you can tell, this year's factory is a little bit bigger than the previous one. The last one was just run enough so that it could make some parts. This factory was actually designed with the idea of making 10 FICSMAS Wonder Stars a minute. That's what I've managed to do, and I'll take you through how I did it in just a second. First step, of course, in any FICSMAS thing is to get gifts, and for gifts you need trees. So let's go see my tree farm. Here's one of the ways into the gift tree farm. As you can see, there's quite a number of gift trees here, all busy generating gifts. But of course you need a big gift tree in order to make lots of gifts. So they're all placed, they gather the gifts up, they all come whizzing down the conveyor belt into a simple load balancer. Head on over here, this little truck stop I built. And you saw the little truck on the way up, and this is doing a pretty good job. We check, knocking out a couple of thousand items a minute when it's doing okay, which is more than I need in the factory. So eventually that should fill up and then we'll have a bit of slack. The truck, and of course a little cart to help it, comes whizzing down this hill. Deliver most of the gifts into that main delivery area there. And then just because I had a bit of space at the back, and because I think I need about 1,500 gifts. You can't really get 1,500 gifts out of one factory cart and one truck, mostly because the depot's only got 2 outputs on it. And of course, if I'm going to use a Mark V belt, then that's limited to 780, so that's just over 1,500, but it's pretty close, so it's pushing things a bit. So I topped up the system by having a few extra trees just sat at the back here, dumping all their gifts in. And if we go inside, we'll see this is the first floor where the gifts arrive. Smart splitter here sends most of the gifts off this way into a merger when it can. And then they go off down here. And these gifts are made into red ornaments, hence the red lighting. And I'd like to make it reasonably walkable and quite nice in here. So I've got red where the red lighting is, and at the end there's some blue. If we go down the very end, you should see that we stop going from red baubles to blue baubles. We out of these ones. Let's run short of gifts. Everything needs to be warmed up a bit. There should be enough for everything to run, but it takes a while for it to balance itself out, especially if it's run low. So one of the other main things you use is a whole bunch of copper and a whole bunch of iron. So there's some iron nodes here. I just tap those up, send that on in. I had some criterion fields here, and there's a copper node just in front. So I built a little copper refinery at the front here. Sheltered my things, put some lights in, did some uplighting using a leaned back wall, all that good stuff, make it look a bit different. There was a FICSMAS sign. Yeah, let's go into the factory and see what we got. So this is the way I normally come in and out. Made a little sort of leaning door around the other truck stop here. This truck stop's bringing in the copper from further away. And I've got another truck bringing in some fuel for everything. This is the first floor. It says on the sign blue ornaments and red ornaments. See them all cranking away down there. Each floor's as well got one of these little control areas where I can turn on and off the power to, this is the grid for the whole building. This is the raw materials in and out. So this is the powers the truck stations. And then I can turn on and off the blue and red ornaments if I want, just to isolate things. And we've already been along here. You've seen this from the other angle. It's starting to get going again. Coming up. We can poke out here and just have a quick look at these miners. Check that everything's still going okay. Hear the miners cranking up and down. And if we go up to the next floor, see what the next floor of production is. So we've got first floor power tap off, iron ingots, batteries, as in the big storage, power storage ones, and then just a spare switch there that I haven't used yet. Like I have used. Off my local lights. My lights. So I have lights that aren't linked to any production for sort of general illumination on each floor, and then I have ones linked to each production chain. So for instance this light blue here, follow down the end of this is where iron ingots are being smelted, and iron's a sort of light blue colour, so I use the light blue colours on that one. If you turn off the iron ingots, you turn off the lights. If I can demonstrate easily enough, if I shut off the iron ingots for a moment, we'll probably survive. Plonk. And if we head to the back, and there's a Christmas bean in here. See, the lights have gone off, and these smelters have all gone off as well. Still plenty of stuff cracking through the old gift piles though. Let's turn that back on before we run out of it. Don't have much of a buffer on the iron ingots, so run flat out, as do the copper things. So this is the main floor of the FICSMAS event. Made myself a nice little storage room here, fancy lighting, bit of glass through the ceilings, some decorative trees at either end, and I have every FICSMAS item that you need for crafting the Wonder Stars manufactured in this facility, and they're all stored here and they all come into these bins. Now everything is fed into the bins from production and then drained back out, so this bin's currently empty because I'm using as much as I'm producing, which is true of pretty much all the bins. Everything won't back up until these Wonder Stars are full, and it's only been going an hour or so and it's getting there, so I'm making 10 Wonder Stars a minute, so it gives you an idea how quick I'm cracking through the production. And here's an overview of what my factory looks like at the moment. Clear the to-do list off and then see what I make. So we start at the left hand side and we have a target of 1500 gifts per minute I need to come in, and that will produce 10 stars a minute on the output. And we've seen the iron mines that get smelted into 450 iron ingots, and there's some FICSMAS gifts of I can't remember how many getting turned into blue ingots, blue ornaments, and those are combined with the iron ingots to make iron ornaments. And then we've got more FICSMAS gifts going in to make red baubles, and they go in and make copper ornaments, and I didn't put on this map the copper because honestly I'm running out of space on the design for the copper, and the copper's not actually refined here, the copper's brought in as an external product already done. So I've got 30 constructors making ornament bundles, and then more gifts are going in and making tree branches, and those tree branches are being used to make decorations with the ornament bundles. And then right at the end you take some more gifts, you turn them into candy canes in 40 constructors, and then you put them into the assembler with 50 decorations a minute and you get 10 FICSMAS stars a minute. That's the basic setup of the whole factory. We'll go through and see what all this looks like. So go up another floor, here's the battery, just doing some power storage. I always like to have 1 or 2 power storage in a factory so that I can measure its power use. You come up here, you can view this floor. This is more of these iron FICSMAS ornaments being made on this floor. And I've put a few bits of decoration up here, some lights and things, but That's the basics. And to get to the next floor of the factory, you come along here. Most of this is a back and forward type arrangement. And then we go up the stairs and reach the next floor, where I have my copper ornaments and some autumn sinks. FICSIT Does Not Waste, but we do recycle. So this is where I handle any overflow I've got. So in theory, there should be no overflow going into these awesome sinks. I've got them powered off at the moment just so that things can back up a bit and stabilize. But when they're running, you should see nothing really going down these lines because it was designed so that everything would be consumed by the production. And so if we carry on round here, we'll see, go inside and see the production of the copper ornaments on this level. So you can see the lights are on. That's really not happy with my sound going in there. Stay away from the too loud bit. So this floor is basically making the copper stuff, because as you saw I needed quite a lot of those on the design. And so the factory designed to be walked around. Again, it's got the shutter and startups. Let's go to the next floor, and on this floor it's again even more copper things, and then some our FICSMAS tree branches, and those again are falling a bit behind because the gift levels need to balance out in this factory. It should all be working. Until I started producing the FICSMAS stars, it was all quite happy, but now it's getting a bit behind on itself. But yeah, you can see plenty of copper ornaments being manufactured. And quite a lot of FICSMAS ornament bundles on this level as well. That's the other main thing they're doing here. Go back outside. You can see over the recycling area. We go around here and up the stairs and on to the next floor. And this floor, I haven't done all the lighting in here yet, but it's mostly working. This is my little power section at the end, so again I can turn off the power to the floor, the generic lights, and then you can see that I'm making more FICSMAS branches and some candy canes here. Well, FICSMAS branches are green, so they're in the green lighting section. And the candy canes are the ones I haven't lit yet, because I wasn't quite sure what colour to do for candy canes. But you can see there are candy canes whipping along these lines when they pop out the machines every so often. And yep, they're going off to the storage, and then from the storage up to the next level of production. So we can either go up this inside ladder. Oh no, we have to go up the inside ladder. This is the end of the outside ladders. And we're on to another floor. And this floor, if we follow along, we get to the power area, or the 6th floor, and we're making decorations here. So, a whole bunch of assemblers put together, knocking out some FICSMAS decorations. And these are actually short branches because of the balancing issue with the gifts, but hopefully they'll all be up and running soon when they've had a bit of time to balance out. And we get up again to the last interior floor, which is the floor where we begin making the FICSMAS Wonder Stars. And we also make a few more decorations on this floor because you need a lot of decorations. There's more decorations being made and the first lot of Wonder Stars being produced. And if we want to see the last lot of Wonder Stars, then we have to come out of the factory. We get a nice view of the moth coming by and of my main base. It's carefully designed so that the moth doesn't really clip here. It'll fly underneath this walkway we're on and over that shorter bit of roof. I really hate building around the moth, but no matter what you do, you have to build around the moth. So there we go. Merry FICSMAS, Mr. Moth. Oh, it just picks you up on the end of that barrier. So maybe I needed to build the whole factory a few cells to the right, but who cares about that, eh? And then we go in here, and you're at the back of all the production. And there's some stairs where we can go up the stairs. And we will reach the roof, which is where the final part of the build is going on. The last few machines. We're on the roof. Big tree. And the last lot of assemblers making the Wonder Stars. Sometimes my jet gets stuck. And these are making 1 per minute, and I've got 10 of them in total. So when everything's running flat out, I should be producing 10 a minute. And you've seen what this building looks like from the outside briefly. Go back down so you can see some of the lighting I did again. So, made myself a little FICSMAS sign, decorated it around the edge. I've got some belts up just to add a bit of lighting and interest. I'll put some items on them later. And then this is my main truck side where I put a few signs just to give you that FICSMAS-y feel. Make it a bit more festive. Slap some decorations around. And that's it. My FICSMAS vent. As long as the truck keeps going. And this little guy who is actually bringing stuff in and out, he's just been unloaded. He's carrying his one box of stuff. You can see it's starting to get there. So now this is backed up. But hopefully soon it'll get distributed through these splitters and things, and all these belts will mean that everything starts to fill up with the gifts it needs rather than being stuck short of production. There we go. That's my new FICSMAS Factory for 2022. I hope you've liked it, and I hope you enjoyed my daily FICSMAS updates on the calendar. And I wish you a Merry FICSMAS and a Happy New Year. See you some other time. Bye.